the calm before the storm is over. Season 1923, Season 2, Episode 7 is about to drop a bombshell that will leave you on the edge of your seat. Prepare yourself for betrayals, heartbreak, and jaw-dropping moments as the Duttons fight not just for survival, but for their future. In this upcoming episode, alliances will be tested, lives will be shattered, and the road to Montana will become more treacherous than ever. The season finale is coming, and it promises to be the most intense, emotional, and action-packed episode yet. Buckle up, because the Duttons' world is about to change forever. Episode 7 is gearing up to be a turning point in 1923 Season 2, filled with danger, mystery, and emotional stakes that will have fans gripped from start to finish. The Dutton family's fight against the forces of nature, fate, and enemies both seen and unseen intensifies as the season reaches its climax. But if you think you know where this story is headed, think again. There are twists coming that no one could have predicted. The most surprising turn of events comes from the character of Taiyana. She's been through so much already, losing her father, mourning her lover, and finally avenging her father's death. You would think her story would be winding down, but, as always, 1923 is never that simple. Taiyana is now at a crossroads, her future hanging in the balance. Marshal Mammy Fawcett, who's been on her trail for some time, is closing in. The law is not on her side, even though she has every right to seek revenge. But Episode 7 will reveal something that changes everything. Taiyana's plea for survival doesn't fall on deaf ears. Mammy initially considers imprisoning her, but a shocking truth about Taiyana will change the course of her fate. What could that truth be? Well, it turns out that Taiyana is pregnant. This revelation flips everything on its head and gives Taiyana the chance to start over. Mammy decides not to lock her away in a cell, but instead banishes her from Orlando, giving her a chance at freedom. But Taiyana's story isn't over yet. As we know, she will eventually make her way to Montana, becoming the grandmother of Thomas Rainwater. But that story is still far from being told. For now, Episode 7 leaves us with a bittersweet moment of hope in a world that's been nothing but cruel to Taiyana. Meanwhile, Alexandra's situation grows even more dire. After making the fateful decision to travel through treacherous conditions, she finds herself buried under a deadly snowstorm with no clear way out. Her hopes of reaching Montana have been dashed, and with a dead woman in her car, she faces a battle of life and death. She could have waited for spring, but instead, her reckless choices have led her here. Now, it seems like there's no escaping the cold grip of fate. With the weather worsening, it's a race against time, and things are looking bleak for Alexandra. Episode 7 brings us closer to her grim reality, and it's clear that a miracle would be required for her to survive this brutal environment. And according to behind-the-scenes rumors, that miracle is not coming. Some speculate that the season finale will open with Alexandra's tragic death, frozen in her car alongside her late friend. It's hard to imagine a sadder fate, especially with the added layer that she's pregnant. It's heartbreaking to think about what could have been, but this was the reality that 1923 prepared us for. Alexandra's story was always destined for tragedy, and now we're about to witness the heartbreaking conclusion. But it's not all despair. There's still hope in the form of Spencer Dutton, who is finally making his way to Montana after what feels like an eternity. The journey has been long, but he's finally almost there. But as always, nothing comes easy in this world. Just as Spencer begins to think he's in the clear, fate strikes again. A brutal snowstorm stands in his way, making his journey even more difficult. It's almost as if the world itself is conspiring against the Duttons, throwing obstacle after obstacle in their path. Even when Spencer gets on a train, the danger doesn't end. The hitmen sent by Donald Whitfield are still on his trail, and a high-intensity action sequence awaits as Spencer fights for his life aboard the train. You can almost feel the tension as Spencer faces off against one of Whitfield's men, desperately trying to maintain control of his fate. The fight scenes here are going to be gripping. Spencer won't make it all this way just to lose, but the action doesn't stop there. When Spencer finally arrives at the train station in Montana, he'll find himself walking straight into another battle. A full-blown shootout between Jacob, the sheriff's men, and Whitfield's forces. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the Duttons are about to face their biggest threat yet. Spencer will be forced to put everything on the line to protect what's his. Fans who've been craving action will finally get their fill in this explosive sequence. But even as Spencer fights for his life, the Dutton's enemies are targeting more than just him. The attack on the Dutton family is about to reach the Yellowstone Ranch itself. While Spencer and Jacob are caught in the crossfire at the train station, Donald Whitfield's men will launch an all-out assault on the ranch. It's going to take everything Kara has to protect her home and her family. We've already seen Kara step up in the face of danger, but now, with everything on the line, she'll have to become more than just a protector. She'll need to become a warrior. Kara will take matters into her own hands, not just to defend her land, but to ensure that Spencer has something to return to. This is her fight now, and no one is better equipped to handle it than her. With a rifle in hand, Kara will show exactly why she's one of the toughest Duttons, making sure that the enemies who threaten her family won't live to see another day. It's going to be one of the most intense moments of the season, and Kara is about to prove that she's a force to be reckoned with. But even as the Duttons fight to protect their future, Elizabeth's journey takes a devastating turn. Her grief over losing Jack is about to push her to the brink. The overwhelming sorrow she's feeling will risk her own life and the life of her unborn child. But Kara, ever the protector, will do everything in her power to keep Elizabeth safe during this critical time. And Elizabeth, in her own way, will rise to the occasion. As Elizabeth's grief spirals, she will be forced to pick up a rifle and fight for what's left of her family. This transformation will mark a pivotal moment in her character arc. She's no longer just a grieving wife, she's a Dutton now, and she will fight like one. The emotional weight of her actions will hit hard, but it will also be a turning point for her. Elizabeth's journey from heartbreak to strength will leave viewers both heartbroken and empowered, as she steps into her role as a Dutton woman and takes her place in the legacy of the family. The season finale promises to be a whirlwind of emotions, action, and surprises. And it's clear that 1923 has saved its biggest and most powerful moments for last. The Duttons' fate hangs in the balance, and this episode will set the stage for the epic battles to come. Get ready for a ride you won't forget, because the Duttons aren't just fighting for land anymore, they're fighting for their lives. As episode 7 edges closer to its explosive season finale, the sense of impending doom looms over every character, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The Duttons' relentless pursuit of survival and power is now more urgent than ever. We've watched them face unimaginable hardship, but what happens next will change everything. The fierce, high-stakes drama that unfolds in this next chapter will set the stage for the epic confrontation that 1923 fans have been eagerly waiting for. While the series has never shied away from presenting us with the harsh realities of frontier life, the consequences for every decision made in episode 7 will be felt for generations to come. And for many of the characters, the brutal price of survival will test their resolve in ways that we've never seen before. Tayana's storyline will continue to evolve, leaving us questioning what her future will look like. Though she's been given a chance to start over, the truth is, her life is far from secure. Even though Mammy's decision to let her go was a rare act of mercy, Tayana's journey is just beginning. As we head into the finale, it's clear that her destiny will intertwine with the Duttons in ways that could either bring hope or despair. Will Tayana's newfound freedom give her the opportunity to rewrite her future, or will the darkness that's haunted her past rise again to claim her? Only time will tell, but for now, the road to Montana seems both a promise and a trap. In the meantime, Alexandra's fate becomes a crushing reminder of how unforgiving the world can be. It's difficult not to feel the weight of her tragic journey as she fights against the elements with no clear way out. The heartbreak of her potential demise is unavoidable, but it also speaks to the relentless nature of 1923 itself. The choices these characters make don't just affect them, they echo throughout the generations to come. Alexandra's story has always felt like a tragic precursor to what will eventually come to pass in the larger Yellowstone universe. And now, as she faces certain death, her journey serves as a stark contrast to the resilience of the Duttons. Her pain and struggle are not in vain, but they are a harsh reminder of the cost of living in a world that seems determined to break its inhabitants. As the storm continues to rage on, Spencer's arrival in Montana seems almost too good to be true. The longer his journey drags on, the more it feels like Spencer's moment of peace will never come. But one thing is for certain, Spencer Dutton is not someone who gives up easily. His resilience, combined with the impending dangers he faces, will make for some of the most intense action scenes yet. The tension surrounding Spencer's fight against Whitfield's hitmen is palpable. It's a race against time, and each moment feels like it could be his last. The stakes couldn't be higher as Spencer fights to protect his family and secure the future of the land he spent so long trying to return to. But as Spencer inches closer to the station, we are reminded that this show has always been about more than just the physical battles. The Dutton struggle is about legacy, about what they're willing to sacrifice to protect their land and each other. Spencer's fight is a battle for his family's survival, and the moments leading up to his arrival at the station will be filled with suspense and tension. The ultimate showdown between Jacob's forces, the sheriff's men, and Whitfield's crew is inevitable, and this explosive confrontation will set the stage for the kind of action that 1923 fans have been craving. At the same time, Kara's role in this battle is integral to the family's survival. As the ranch comes under siege, her fierce determination will shine through. Kara is no longer just the matriarch keeping things together. She's the protector, the warrior. With a rifle in hand, she'll take charge in ways we've never seen before, making sure that her family has a future to fight for. As the bullets fly, Kara will fight not just for the Duttons' land, but for the very legacy they've worked so hard to build. Watching her in action is going to be one of the most rewarding moments of the finale, as we witness the strength of a woman who's never been afraid to fight for what's hers. And then there's Elizabeth. Her grief over Jack's death has shattered her, but this loss will push her to transform in a way that no one could have anticipated. Her pain, her despair, will serve as a catalyst for her growth as a Dutton woman. The overwhelming sorrow she feels after Jack's death could easily destroy her, but instead, Elizabeth will rise from the ashes of her grief. It's the defining moment of her character arc. She will no longer be just a grieving widow. She'll become a fierce protector, just like the rest of the Duttons. The tragedy of Jack's death will give way to a new strength in Elizabeth, as she picks up a rifle and steps into her role as a true member of the Dutton legacy. Watching her evolve from heartbreak to fierce warrior will be a powerful moment that'll resonate with viewers long after the season ends. The emotional weight of the finale will not be without its cost. As the Duttons continue to face relentless enemies, both external and internal, every sacrifice will seem more profound than the last. The bond between this family will be tested in ways they never imagined, and the toll it takes on them will be reflected in every decision they make. As the season finale reaches its climax, we'll see a family on the edge, fighting, struggling, and enduring in ways that no one could have foreseen. But this season is far from over. The finale may offer some closure, but it also leaves plenty of room for more chaos, heartache, and drama in the seasons to come. The future of the Dutton family hangs in the balance, and what happens in the final moments of Season 2 will set the stage for even more explosive events in the future. 1923 has always been about survival, and as we watch the final, intense moments unfold, we'll witness not just the survival of the Duttons, but the survival of their legacy. The heat is about to turn up, and it's going to be a ride you won't forget. The end of Season 2 is near, but the story of the Duttons is far from finished. Get ready for a season finale that will leave you breathless, as every choice and every battle will shape the future of the Dutton family forever. The Duttons are fighting for their survival, and they're not about to go down without a fight.